Yep.
All right, let's get started. All right, the
Okay.
what if they won tier list. Now, to explain exactly what this is, this was a comment we got a while back saying like, if these villains won, how good would it be to like live in the world they create? Which is a fun question for some of them.
Wow, Puff. I wonder what the last villain you added this list was. I have no way of telling.
Yeah, no way of telling at all. Because
Hmm.
I organized them into
No,
groups,
because there's a
kind
tab
of.
at the top of your screen, you dork.
There is.
It's
Oh, it has 29 images and was last modified.
no, higher, higher, higher,
Uh,
higher. No, don't scroll. Just move your mouse. Higher,
where?
higher.
Where?
I can see the wish Disney did.
Oh, that, yeah, okay. I can't believe I missed that. Anyway, first
Okay.
we're gonna start with some baselines. Haumea, you're dead. You're dead. If you live
Hameo
in her world, you
wants
die.
Hameo wants to turn the Earth into a second sun, and everyone would die.
Yeah, I know. Like, so, like, there's no living in a world like that. You just die. So
Quite
there
literally,
you
she
go.
wants everyone to die.
And then we have here a couple fascists. Like, would you want to live under
Well,
incredibly comedically cruel
yeah,
fascism?
we have space fascists, very fun. But no, Puff, didn't you see on Twitter? The Empire would never condone sexual assault.
Well, I guess like we could put him above Frieza then.
No,
He's
that person's wrong. That
nicer
person's
fascism,
wrong.
nicer
That person's
fascism,
wrong.
more family
If,
friendly fascism.
if anything, I would sooner see Frieza be against it because he'd view it as like, why? Ew. Ew. With a Saiyan? Ew. You disgust me. Oh, God.
All right, so we
All
got a
right.
couple Naruto villains here. First is Madara, which is the
Is he like
Matrix.
I would say he's not a better than current life. He's more like a you might be able to cope.
I think it's weird because like as long as you don't know you're in a dream, like it is arguably better than your current life because then it's just your perfect
But
dream
I mean,
world.
I still think it's bad because overall, like, humanity stops
Well,
with him.
I know, but like, if we're talking about like your life specifically and having to live in there, then
Yeah,
like,
but we
as
also
long as
have
you
to
don't, it's like the Matrix. As long as you don't know, you won't care, right?
but the point is, and you're bringing up the Matrix, is that like it's still bad.
I know it is, but only if you find out. If you never find out, you're just happy.
That's
Well, I
why
mean,
I'd
the
rather put
Matrix
it
was like tried to give people like a reasonable, like realistic measure of happiness. His is like your perfect dream world. So
which
like,
I on no, I still don't. No, I would put it in I can cope.
well, it's weird because like as long as you don't know, you
But why
would
are
be
you
happy,
only thinking
Shiki.
about it from your POV? You have to think about the world at large
But I
too.
thought this was supposed to be from my POV. Like, would I want
No,
to live
yeah,
in this
okay,
world?
Puff. What if you happen to be on one of the planets that the space fascists like? Then it's not so bad, but that's not the point. The point is overall it's bad. And overall Madara's plan is bad.
All right, yeah, I guess you're. Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess like if we're being literal about, Kagi's gonna eat the tree a few seconds later. So like,
Oh, you do that then okay, let's pretend he didn't know. Let's
well,
pretend.
then if that's the case, then it's dead, no argument. But like,
But then we're ranking Kaguya's plan, not Madara's plan. It's like let's pretend it's if they won. So him winning involves Kaguya not finding out, not
all
doing
right,
the thing.
I'll put
I
it
would
in
say
not bad
all right.
because like
I
you
disagree, but
will enjoy
whatever.
it until you find out, right? Nagato
Probably, yeah.
is
Um, uh,
it's
it's not. I think it's like you can cope. Like it fucking sucks ass. Like it's terrible, but you can cope.
I mean, it is just
Unless you're
like
dead. If you're dead, you can't cope. But
yeah, I know, but it is just like every like 90 years there's gonna be a giant war, and that's like his mo, I guess. Every 90 years there'll be a big war.
yeah, we're like it's not as bad as living under Frieza, but it's pretty fucking bad,
Like the
actually.
idea is that like you'll like it like in the 90-year gap of peace, I guess, or whatever, however many years he gives before he
Probably
wants to
not
start wars
90.
again.
Probably more frequent than that, but pretty bad.
I mean, he says like when people
Uta,
forget, so I imagine like when the people who live through the war start to die out.
yeah. And then Uta's just Madara again.
I'd say she's worse than Madara.
Why?
Because you're in a dream from the get-go, so it's just like, well,
Oh, no,
you
you
have
don't. You have to get told.
well, like Uta will tell you. Uta told everyone, it's like, here's what's up,
Well,
gang.
that's because she got exposed by Kobe. So are we doing Kobe still reveals her?
Well, would she not also eventually reveal it, or like Like I think that
No,
she's
I
not
think
exactly
that's kind of,
using.
I think that's kind of just the flaw of Uta's plan, where inevitably someone's gonna start asking some fucking question.
Yeah, like again, like the one of the boys says, "Hey, can I go home to my sheep now?" It's
And
like
she's like,
all right,
no, no.
it's not going to last. Is the thing like it can't last more than a day, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm stuck here. Whereas with Madara, it's like you might never find out.
I guess.
Light Yagami, which is he just another
Um,
fascist?
he's just a fascist. He literally said, once I'm in power, I'm gonna start killing the lazy and the poor." He's just a fascist.
That yeah, he is just a fascist. I guess he just kind of is. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess like you can argue that like he'll have like a less painful version of fascism
Oh,
because it's
yeah, but he's still a no. That's because he's a more realistic fascist than the space fascist.
oh yeah, no, like obviously, yeah. He's
He's
not
just
gonna blow up
real,
a planet. He's not. He'll write your name in a notebook if you do something he doesn't like.
pretty bad still, but
Yeah.
somehow less bad. All right, Meruem.
Might be
Uh,
worse. It might be
yes, because
worse.
well, no, he's still a type of fascist
I
because
guess.
he wants to kill all humans except for the good ones. So put them in a little camp.
Yeah, I know. It's just like if you're an exceptional human, you'll be put into a camp, and it's just like, well, that I think that's worse than
Well,
fascism. At
if
least
any,
fascists will
no,
let you
that
run a
no,
bar.
no, well, no, not no, no, they won't. Not if you're a minority they don't like.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
no, if anything, I'd say Meruem would be less bad than Frieza.
All right.
But you might just want to put Frieza and Palpatine as worse than fascist because they're super fascist.
All right, fine. We'll put like Adro
What's
below space
uh,
fascism.
yes, because that's literally what they are. It's just the scale is so bad. Uh, uh, and then also the other thing with them is like Meruem over time would potentially become a little bit less of a piece of shit, hopefully. Whereas
Yeah, there's a bit of
Frieza
hope for him.
Palpatine ain't getting better. All right,
Oh, Ironwood.
Ironwood.
Okay, so this is interesting because like
Ironwood is a liberal that slowly becomes a fascist.
yeah, but it's
That's
like
literally what his
but
character arc
but
is.
but at least when he did it, it's because like the apocalypse was knocking at his door, and he like kind of felt like he was trapped in a corner and had no way out. Whereas these two, it's like this is the ideal state of things. Is
Oh no, yeah, no.
fascism.
These two are his base form. He had to get radicalized,
Yeah.
so he's definitely less bad than them, but he's still pretty fucking
I
bad.
mean, you also have to consider that in this instance, it is like you're going to be living up in a floating island in the sky, cut off from the rest of the world, and I guess you would be safe from the Grim that way, like probably.
Unless the flying ones come after you.
Well, no. They said that like it is so high up that it'll like literally be like in the stratosphere, and like it realistically barely any Grim are gonna get up there, if any.
Until the Grims start evolving.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like Grim, like Salem can make Grim evolve, but like to what degree, it's like unknown, right?
You can't imagine a fighter jet Grim like a Latios Grim just fucking busting into the plane.
Well, like again, it's weird because it's like there is like we do know that certain things like dust loses its power when it starts to like get too far away from Earth. So like, is the same true for the Grim? I don't know.
So, that's it. So a lot of iffy. Just not good.
Yeah. Okay, this one is like incomprehensible because like she wants to change the world so like fundamentally that it's hard to like picture what exactly she wants.
Based off of how she acts, I want to say worse because I think it would lead to even more death than a fascist
Well,
would.
that's the thing. She wants to get rid of death. Like she wants to change something to eat death and anything that causes humans pain. So it just
If
like
anything, maybe she shouldn't be here because we don't know what that means yet.
yeah, that I'm just gonna put her at a question mark at the bottom.
That's why I didn't that's why I didn't include any One Piece villains because like we don't know what happens yet.
Yeah, that's why I didn't include any
What
either.
happens if Doflamingo gets the sacred treasure of Marijois? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking like, okay, what happened if like say Kaido won? Like I guess he'd start a big war and then like the world government would do their thing. But like that seems kind of a boring answer. And like if we were ranking the world government because like you could say they kind of already won like all those years ago or whatever, then they would
Yeah.
just be in like fascism or space fascism.
Yeah.
All right. of Thanos from Infinity War. I have Infinity War and Endgame here.
Dude, his goals were so noble. The way he was gonna destroy half the, it's great. Literally, like you can cope if you just act. The funny thing is, in a lot of planets, like small world planets that don't know anything, they probably do just have to treat it like a natural disaster or like an act of God.
Yeah, no, I'm just imagining like if half the people I love or that I know just died, like that's shitty, that's terrible, but like
What's funny
give
is
me,
like
I'll get over it in 10 years probably.
he's
Not
also definitely
completely, but like to the point where I
Uh,
can move
he's
on.
the worst one because it's I can cope asterisk because depending on the planet and the environment, some won't be able to cope. He has definitely doomed some
Oh
places.
yeah, no, probably yeah.
So it's like I can cope asterisk sometime.
I mean, it's kind of because like with Nagito, he wants perpetual war, but like it's with Thanos, is like he wants the one thing and then he's gonna stop. He wants the
Yeah,
one
I mean
really
his one
terrible
thing is
one.
pretty fucking bad. It's also stupid and it's not gonna fix
Oh
anything,
yeah, no,
but
obviously.
because he's a fucking idiot. All right.
And then
And then we have
in Endgame, which is just like he wants to remake the universe, and it's just like, well, okay, I guess you're just Makima then. That's just what
yeah,
Makima wanted.
I like if I had to guess, I would say pretty fucking bad because you know what I love? Even when good Thanos, I was rewatching Infinity War. The thing that Chas and I laughed at was there's a scene where Nebula's like, "My father is he's not a liar," or maybe that was an Endgame, but it's counteracted by the scene of the dwarf on the dead sun, being like, he told us we made them the gauntlet, he wouldn't kill us. After we made the gauntlet, he killed them all anyway. It's like so he is a liar, and also he doesn't do the half and half thing. When it benefits him, he doesn't do the half and half thing because he's a fucking liar. He's just evil.
All right, do you know who this is?
I can't see. Too
Uh,
small.
well, anyway, this is Richmond Valentine from the Kingsman, the first Kingsman movie. Have you
No,
seen
I have
it?
not seen any of the Kingsman
Oh, well,
movies.
anyway, that quote says mankind is a virus and I'm the cure.
That's not good.
All right, so his thing, like it's kind of like okay, so his thing is that like he wants to basically kill 99% of the population, leaving only the ultra rich and wealthy, and then they'll just inherit the earth.
So he's a super fascist. Okay.
Well, the thing is, like, if it's like, we get to, we consider this, we get to live in it. That's what the question is. We get to live in that world. So, like, it's like, wouldn't we just get an ultra privileged life? Wouldn't that be pretty sick?
No, I don't think those means justify those ends,
Wouldn't
my
that be
guy.
pretty sick though?
No. Also, what? You're not in the top percent. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying like it's like if you got to live in the world they created, then it's like, well, we get to live in what's basically a
No.
paradise
Okay,
built on
no.
the world's
No.
greatest
No.
tragedy. And the thing
Also,
is like
isn't he gonna have to? Also, like, isn't he gonna have to do this again once the population balloons again?
no, I like with the amount of people he wants to kill, it would not balloon to that point until like centuries in the future.
Before they do it again. Anyway, no, that sounds horrific.
Well, like, dude, we get the world you would live in would be pretty chill. I mean, it's built on like a needless tragedy because like if you were already
Also,
ultra
it would
rich,
not be pretty chill. A world where everyone are the top 1%ers? That's the worst fucking group of people I've ever heard of. God, no.
well,
God, no.
assuming everyone gets along, it would be pretty nice.
God, no. That sounds awful.
All right, I think this is
Okay,
another worse than
anti-spiral.
fascism. I think this is definitely worse than fascism.
Oh, yeah, you basically be... Well, I mean, it was implied that the other... Yeah, it is just like super fascism where it's more dictatorial than when we say worse than fascism. It's not like fascists couldn't do this. It's more like super fascist.
No, like literally, you don't get
It's
to
like
live under the sun. It's like
yeah, it's like
that
omega
degree.
fascism.
I know.
Yeah, which is like yeah, because we learned that basically tons of planets were going under what Earth was. So yeah, that's bad. And if
Yeah,
they succeeded, they would just do it to every planet ever, which would fucking suck.
yeah. You know, like the thing is, it's like 1,000 is the cap. If you get more than 1,000 people on the surface, then your
I thought it
planet's
was a
fucked.
million.
Oh,
I
a
thought it was a
million?
million. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure it's
well,
a
whatever.
million.
If over 1 million people are on the surface of your planet, you're fucked.
Yeah,
You're like,
which
no,
is
go
pretty
back, go
fucking
back,
low,
go
actually.
back into the dirt.
Yeah,
Go
it's a
back into the
million,
dirt.
and a million's pretty fucking low.
It is really low. Like I could live with this because like like it would just be like
Maybe.
yeah, like maybe, but like at least I would get
Unless
to like
Frieza
live under the
learns like
sun.
you have Dragon Balls or something, then you might be fucked.
Yeah, I know I might be fucked, but at least I can go outside and like go outside. I could go outside.
We're basically no, quite literally with these two. It's like as long as they don't decide they hate my planet, I might potentially be kind of fine sometime.
All
Still
right.
terrible. Who?
This is Merlin from Sonic and the Black Knight.
Oh my fucking! I don't care.
All right. All she wanted to do was make death as a concept disappear and make Camelot last forever.
Is that good or
And
bad?
then Sonic was like, "That's fucking cringe. Everything has to come to an end, so I'm gonna stop you."
Oh, because he believes in the power of nature, of course.
Yes, of course. So anyway, I'd say like I can cope because like again, it's like you might have to live in a weird like demon dimension or dark dimension, whatever the hell. But like at least you'd be there. Like she's gonna treat you kindly. You'll never die. I guess none of your loved ones will die. I guess that's nice. You can.
Yeah, still fucking weird though.
It's not the worst thing. Okay, Daenerys Targaryen.
She just is a fascist.
Well, it's weird because like she wasn't.
No, but okay, no, if we're doing the end of season 8, she just is a fascist.
I know, but
Because she
that's
said she wants to spread it to the world, so she
I
just is.
know, but it's eight. Season 8's terrible, and I want to pretend like it in season 7 doesn't exist. So
I
like,
want to
can I
pretend
just?
season fucking 5 through 8 don't exist.
Well, 5 was like mostly okay.
No, it was not.
I only
No,
remember the Braum and like Jamie subplot like sucking ass completely, and everything else was fine. That's what I remember from season 5.
all right, so basically, we have to do what actually happened, Puff, and when what
I
actually happened, she just
know.
is a fascist.
I know. I mean, it's not like space fascism. I don't think she's gonna scorch an entire continent to cinders, but like,
No, like even then, they kind of implied she only did that because she hates Cersei specifically.
yeah.
And also, just like from season 8 was they didn't acknowledge the fact that like when dragons took over Westeros the first time, did you know how it was done, Puff? In most cases,
What?
you show up on your big dumb dragon and you say forfeit, or I'm going to use my big dumb dragon, and they're like, yeah, okay, we forfeit. Fuck that.
It's just like
Which is what Cersei should have done.
it's just the nuclear option.
Yes, quite literally. It's like I have a flying nuke. Forfeit, fucker. It's like
I
okay,
yeah, okay, I assume no
yeah,
choice.
I'd rather not.
One sword
Except for
keeps
Dorne.
another in its sheath. Or in this
Except
case,
for
a
except
bigger, cooler nuclear sword keeps another in its sheath.
except for Dorne. Dorne did like hit and run desert tactics, and literally the people raiding them had to give up and be like, "Fucking fine, you can like be independent, fucker." All right,
All
yeah.
right, funny Valentine. All right.
Nothing good. That's for
This is
sure.
funny because it would be pretty cool for you, but it would suck for me and everyone outside of
I'm
America.
an American.
Uh,
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
it's not fascism, is it? It's just
I don't
like
remember. I don't remember. What was his specific goal?
his goal was to get like Lucy's corpse into
Yeah,
like an
I knew
American
that.
vault, so that good luck will just go to America and take away the luck from all the other countries, and it would just be like America will just be given way more luck than every other country or something like that.
So he's not a fascist. He's just a fucking nationalist.
Yeah, he's just a nationalist asshole, which is just like I wonder what that's an allegory for.
Oh, well, you telling me the fucking American flag scar might be hinting at something? Hmm. I haven't read part 7 in a while, so it's possible he also has like some lines that like makes it very clear he is worse than this. But from what I can remember, yeah, that seems fine. He's just
All I
this
remember is
nationalist
that like
piece of shit.
I'm gonna like fuck over other countries to make America cooler and better. That's just what I remember from him.
And also, it's fucking luck, which is funny.
Yeah, it just like it is weird. Okay. Ooh, Hans from Frozen.
Okay, I rewatched Frozen, and the thing that makes Hans fun. First of all, yeah, he's absolute. Actually, no, I would even argue it's not bad.
Okay.
Because what it is let's pretend you're a citizen of Arendelle. You haven't had a leader for a few fucking years. Whoop de fucking do. What the hell? And then you get a new one, and she fucks off and creates an infinite wonder, and you're like, huh? What the hell? And then the younger princess mysteriously dies, and you hear the older one did it, and then the older one gets killed by this guy from a foreign land who's been doing nothing but handing out blankets and food, and then he takes over and rules for you, and you're like, Okay, I guess.
Yeah, like
That's what
Han.
happens if Hans wins.
It's kind of like Hans has no reason not to have a perfectly fine and just rule, right?
No, because he was a perfectly fine and just peacekeeper when Anna left. He was doing his job. He was actually doing a better like he was actually like the civilians liked him. Like the Duke was like, "I'm the Duke. I want to do this." The civilians were like, "No, Hans is like goaded, and I like him."
Yeah.
So quite literally, just he kills two innocent women, horrible, and then everything goes on as normal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you find out about like Madara's scheme, it's like, oh, well, my entire life is a lie. I haven't, and then you'll have like an existential crisis. You find out Hunt's like, well, that kind of fucking sucks.
You're like, "Oh, it was
But
a
that's
coup." That's
that
kind of violent.
that's kind. But like
Um,
that was like an ice witch. She was causing some trouble. It's kind of a weird situation. Like I guess Anna didn't have to die, but like
that was kind of fucked up of you to kill a child.
yeah, like I can't really say anything now because I don't want to like ruin the piece you made. But sure.
Yeah, that's what I read about Not Bad, where it's like, the two people. Because if we're including like deaths leading up to it, then Madara is way worse because Madara killed a fuck ton of people. So we're
Oh,
just doing end society.
I guess like one thing I should clarify about this. I'm trying to minimize like thinking about like how many modern conveniences are in the setting that I would benefit from.
Oh yeah, no, you
Because
can't
if I
do
went
that
off
because
that, then it's like, oh well, even Star Wars might be able to be a bit higher than something. Because like, well,
no, I
like
wouldn't do Star Wars because in a lot of spin-off shows they show what it's like to be like an average civilian under an empire under the Empire regime. It's pretty fucking shit, actually.
okay,
I would actually like I would rather live under Frieza's rule than the Empire's rule because Frieza seems too fucking lazy to be an enforcer.
yeah.
I
I guess it's just say like Ruby, like would living in Atlas be cooler than like living in a random like place in Naruto?
Yeah, like
Maybe, like
we can't
maybe.
we can't be like, oh, modern conventions. It's like that's the funny thing about like what anime verse would you live in, and it's like anything before phones can fuck off.
Oh, I know, dude. My brain chemistry can't handle anything that doesn't have phones.
Oh, what, you want to live in? Oh, you want to live in Demon Slayer times? No, you don't. They haven't figured out how to make bananas that aren't 90% seeds yet. No, you don't. Fuck that.
All right, Wish. I've not seen this movie. Where do we
Okay,
go?
so this jackass's whole thing is like, oh, I can grant people's wishes, but I take away the bad ones. When you become a certain age, I see your wish and I take it and I grant it if I want to. And the thing is like, okay, but what's your definition of like a bad wish? And a bad wish is like, oh, your dad wants to play music. What if he plays music of rebellion and does a coup against it?
Music. I don't want no rock and roll.
No, so he's like,
Get
he's
that
a piece of
rap
shit.
music out of
I
here.
mean, he's literally not a fascist because he's a monarch, but you may as well call him one because he's pretty fucking. He no, because like no, he's not like yeah, he's not. You can cope, but he just sucks. He's just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like you just learn that like he has the power to grant people's dreams, but he doesn't if he thinks it might inconvenience him in any way. Like people are like, oh no, dude, he's so true. Societal upheave, and it's like, but overthrowing him would be good. He fucking sucks. He's an asshole. All right.
oh, hey.
O'Hare,
This is just how. Would you want to live in Thneedville?
and it's like I can cope.
Yeah. It's not, I mean,
I'm
like you
not
have
gonna
to
say
pay for
not bad
air. Yeah,
because
you have to
bottled
pay for
air is
air.
bullshit.
You.
That's the weird thing about Thneedville is like they want to show like this hyper capitalist place that's like supposed to show all the flaws of it, but they kind of forgot one really obvious problem, Puff, which is how are the
Everyone's
poor
happy.
people doing? How are the poor people doing?
There's no poor people. They die. You die if you're poor.
Yeah, like that's kind of the problem because it's a kids movie. They can't show that. That's like, or like, do homeless people like sleep on the lawns of rich people and like suck in the air from their trees? Because we see that. We see the mailman put air in the street. So like, you know, criticizing a fucking Illumination animation movie, impossible. They didn't think through their plot and how like if you want to show how evil O'Hare monopolizing air is, you should probably show people who suffer from not having access to air.
Yeah. The
It
thing. The
just kind of
weird.
seems like a fucking given.
Yeah, no, weird thing about like the Illumination Lorax movie, it's like like Thneedville and like O'Hare selling yours like sounds like something that'd be a very fun sequel to the original Lorax, but like the whole movie just kind of does take away what I thought was like some of the interesting things I thought was like some of the things I thought was actually very interesting about the original book and like short movie, which is
It was so simple and to the point. Like the whole point of a thneed is that it can be anything, so it literally represents any consumerist item possible.
yeah, but like even more that like the one story is actually way more interesting in the short and book too, because like
Oh
for
yeah,
one
he
thing,
is.
yeah, for one thing you never
Oh,
see his face
dude,
because like
him armchair psychologing with himself is phenomenal.
oh yeah, I know that's great, and also just like he does have like reasonable like objections to not to not stop like oh but like so many people have jobs and I don't want to take away their jobs like everyone's already like formed their
And then
lives
that's
around my business.
juxtaposed to like the animals being forced to move, showing that like he's full of shit, but
Yeah, and
like
then like in the Illumination movie, it's like, oh, but I don't want to stop because then my mom might be disappointed. And it's like, well, like that's not what the original show was. That's not a realistic
no.
depiction of a capitalist system doing its
No,
thing.
I like the original ones for so much because he's so obviously like a poor guy who got really rich and loves it, but also like deep down knows it's wrong but doesn't want to stop.
Yeah, which is
Whereas
cool.
yeah, and also just like big difference between a thneed and air. The whole point of a thneed is you don't fucking need one,
Yeah, I know it's a
whereas you do
luxury.
need air.
Yeah, that's why
That
I
shit's
think
important.
That's why I think conceptually this is a very interesting like addition or like sequel to the Lorax, but like again they never really delved deep enough into what I think is interesting about it.
I think they can't because it's an Illumination animation movie, which are made for baby.
Yeah, well I mean like so is like Dr. Seuss's original works.
Yeah, and he didn't include the idea of not having oxygen because that's absurd.
It is absurd.
All right. All right. What the fuck did this jackass want?
He wanted basically like I just thought like would it be fun to live in the what if other dimension world that he created
Oh,
where
that's very
he is
funny.
the king, he has all his witches flying around, ogres are an oppressed social class.
So, is it like I don't remember. Is it like fascist level oppression?
um hmm
I'm asking because I don't fucking remember.
well
I
that
watched this movie when it came out. I was
all
probably
right,
a
all right.
child.
I'm trying to remember exactly how we came into power because I remember like he took away the day Shrek was born, so like Fiona never left the tower. I guess Prince Charming never married in, so I guess there was just like a power gap when like the royal family didn't have a proper heir and he just seized it somehow. um, how exactly he seized it, I don't think we ever learn. I guess I guess you have to assume it was through force and all of his witches and stuff.
Yeah, and like mistreating the ogres is definitely bad.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
we can assume he's like a light fascist.
light fascist. All
We can
right.
assume that.
All
All
right.
right.
Syndrome.
He sucks.
Dude, what
Look
if you
at me,
what if
what
you
super
lived
no one is.
Dude, what if you lived in a world that was just like your normal everyday life, but also some jackass is gonna fake fight a robot every other week?
No, he's gonna also sell it to you. That's what he says when everyone's super. It's like Syndrome. Let's be for fucking real. I can't afford your superhero tech. Shut up. Oh god. It's like he's gonna genocide all of the soups, which is definitely bad. And then he's gonna fucking I don't know if he's going to. No, he's not. Because he doesn't want to genocide the soups now. He wanted to kill them on his island. Now he doesn't care if you super or not because his tech he thinks invalidates any superness.
Yeah.
So he's just going to make a fucking annoying world, just a
I
pain
know.
in my
Literally,
ass.
he's going to fake fight a robot and destroy a few buildings every month just to, just to have fun. And then I guess he'll
And then if
stop
he
at some
spreads his
point.
and if he ever spreads his tech and makes everyone super like he wants to, I don't want to live in a world where everyone has access to that. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and
That sounds terrible.
yeah, it is kind of the thing where it's like, oh, suddenly everyone's super and anyone can cause like mass destruction or whatever. Like they want people to stop. They want to stop superheroes because oh, too much property damage and stuff like that. So it's like now everyone has access to that. So now it just seems like you made an inherently more dangerous
More
world to live in.
property damage. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Syndrome. No fucking thank you. Not to shock you, but no fucking thank you.
All right, we
All
got
right,
the
we got
Pokemon
the
villains
we got
now.
we got the two fucking dumbasses.
All
We have
right, now.
worse than well, I mean, if we're being realistic, everyone's dead. Well, no, I should clarify. If it's Ruby and Sapphire, everyone's dead. Oras made their motivations slightly less dumb.
All right, now I think I would rather have more land than less ocean,
Well, yeah,
personally.
that's because Maxie literally appeals to humans. He says that.
Yeah, so I think it's like
No, you have to put them next to each other because it's the same shit. It's equally bad.
but like the thing is, Archie's going to kill people if he does this
No, it's
realistically.
Maxie.
No,
Max,
Maxie's.
Groudon's sun is so hot. They clarify that it's like too fucking hot to function.
Oh man, do we need? I feel like I can go. Oh my god, but like, where
Oh,
do they
can we put
go?
them in can we put them in like dead parentheses? Maybe.
Okay,
Like they're definitely creating an apocalypse.
okay,
Like they're
Admiral,
making an apocalypse.
uh, apocalypse. I definitely misspelled that. Yeah.
No, what's funny is it's either an apocalypse or if we lower it to just one of them wants to raise sea level so there's a bit less land and a bit more sea, and the other wants to lower sea level so there's a bit more land, a bit less sea. Both of those suck ass. How do I know? I live in Earth, and on Earth we know for a fact that either of those would fuck us over monumentally.
Yeah, I know. I think Maxie's is a little better, but like,
Well, that's just
again, it is like a skunk with some
oh
salt on
yeah,
it
oh
versus
yeah.
eating
What if you live in Pacific Log Town? Then you're vibing. Then what? What if you live in Pacific Log Town? Never thought about that, did you? No, because Hoenn is a water region, it's easier to immediately see like the problem with Archie's plans because like Zootopolis and Dewford would be underwater like instantly.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Pokemon world at large, if you get rid of water, there's a lot of play. Sinnoh's fucked because Sinnoh's like a
Ooh.
cold region. Sinnoh's
Yee.
fucked if it gets super
Yikes.
hot.
Oh, yikers.
So
Uh,
yeah, overall, they're both just stupid.
yeah.
They're both just really dumb
All
guys.
right. Now,
All right,
to be like literal, like I think it might be this. Like I think it's that. Like,
the whole the whole point of N is N. The whole point of Pokemon is that N's goals are valid. The problem is he's being manipulated by
I know,
Gexes.
but like I'm just okay, I live in the Pokemon world, but I'm not allowed to own a Pokemon in a Pokeball. It's like that's still pretty cool. That's still rocks. That's
I
still pretty
mean, like
cool.
I mean, it's probably worse than the current. The thing is, like, it's like if it's like one, trainers can't abuse their Pokemon and can't do evil things anymore. Objectively good. The bad, what if a fucking Tyranitar rampages in your town?
Then you have to appeal to the Geodude that is 10 feet
You
away
need
from
help,
you.
and Geodude's like, I'm not fighting a Tyranitar. What are we talking about?
Right, you
So
got to
I
go
would
for
say
the
like,
Sunkern. You got to go for the Sunkern.
well, the other point is like what's brought
Get a
up to N
Machop.
is fuck the trainers. He's gonna make a lot of Pokemon sad.
Yeah, that's true, but it's also like I think I'd rather live in
No,
that
no,
world.
you could still make an argument that it's better, but like he's waiting is what I would say. Like he's definitely not bad, but like
I guess I'm just thinking that living in the Pokemon world in like almost any context would be better than my
oh no, no,
current
but
life.
we're not comparing our
Yeah,
lives to now we're
yeah, I
comparing
did.
we live in the Pokemon world and then we lose our Mons. And I would say that's not bad, but he's definitely the best character so far.
All right, maybe I should take out my in this sentence and just say better than
Better
current,
than current life. Yeah.
better than
It's
status
like
quo.
or it's like it's arguable if it's better or worse. We'd kind of have to see it play out and really see all the ramifications.
Yeah.
All right, Lysander,
Lysander.
don't you fucking prick.
I know that
Don't.
sucks. That's I want. I'm not
I,
sure if it's like worse. It's like kind of just like what Thanos did, but to Pokemon instead of humans.
yeah, which honestly, actually, in the Pokemon world, that might lead to an apocalypse
Oh yeah, yeah, it might
because
because
they are crucial to the ecosystem. So honestly, that might be apocalypse.
I know it's like imagine like like current day Earth, but there's no animals anymore. Like all right, no one can eat meat anymore. That's
Well, in
completely
Earth,
off
we're
the table.
definitely dead, but Pokemon World is vague and dumb, so we can leave it at apocalypse. Like maybe we'd somehow not die. Still sucks though. It still sucks. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? I'm glad worse than fascism is just guys who don't understand the ecosystem. Like what's funny funny is no, Lysander's worse. But what's funny is Archie and Maxie aren't worse people than like almost anyone here. They're just dopes.
Yeah, no, they're just idiots.
They're just dopes. They are not nearly as evil as like almost anyone else here. They're just kind of dumb.
I want to make more water so that nature and Pokemon can thrive.
I want my Sharpedo to swim more. Oh God. Who's next?
Hawkmoth.
I mean, okay, so the whole thing is like we finally got to see because the whole thing for a long time was it was like, what does it mean to reshape the universe? Because we didn't know.
Yeah.
And then we learned that no, it seems like you actually do get to like control who dies in place for who you bring back because he
Yeah.
killed himself in exchange. So, in that case, okay, wait, does literally all that happen is his wife comes back and some random fuck of his choosing dies?
Yeah, I guess so.
In
Which
that
in this
case,
case was him because he chose to die.
yeah, in which case,
Like he might genuinely like choose to sacrifice himself and let Adrian be with his mom because he might be
well, no,
too guilty about killing someone else.
depends on what point in the story we're
That
at.
is definitely true. That's an important
Okay,
part to
let's do him
consider.
at his most evil just for fun. At his most evil, on top of bringing his wife back, he might also do a couple petty bullshit things, but it's like, it's not that bad.
He's not gonna like upheave all society or anything,
But the
like
whole point is it's a French baby show where most of the villains are just people who need therapy. So it makes sense that the greatest villain, like the worst thing he could do is like kill one guy.
Yeah,
The worst thing he could do is kill one guy.
yeah, that's all that'll happen. Okay, next Magneto. Now,
Okay, are we doing like the nicest version of Magneto? Or the
I
meanest version of Magneto?
all right. I think I was gonna go for like the live action movies because that's probably what most people are familiar with, and it's just like
Okay.
but like let's do like nicest version just because that's more interesting. Because and we need to put someone in arguably better than status quo.
Yes, okay. Nicest version is Magneto creates a place for refugees who desperately need a fucking home.
Yeah.
Honestly, Buff, that's what kind of pissed me off about Wolverine and the X-Men. First half, Magneto is so fucking awesome. Second half, they try and fail to convince me that he's bad. Because it's like, oh, yeah, because fucking...
You're talking about the
Okay.
animated
Yes,
show, right?
X-Men and the Wolverine and the X-Men, the
Yeah,
cartoon,
yeah, that
where
one.
when Nightcrawler's like, they had a prison. It's like,
For
okay,
what? For what?
what did they do? We don't even learn what they did. We don't even learn. You're a spy. Of course he put you in there. What about everyone else?
You know, it's
We
like
don't know.
this was like the lead up to the end. It's like, oh no, there was a pickpocket or something. It's like, oh, it's okay. We have a humane jail. And it's like, oh, that's nice. Then it's like, no, they had a worse jail, which looked like a normal jail but
Also, it's
underground.
unclear how long the pickpocket's even gonna be there.
I know. It's
Like,
like,
is it just is it just the same as the U.S. where it's like he's gonna be there a bit too long? In which case, that's still better than our world because it's just the Marvel universe, but there's a safe place for mutants, which is good.
yeah, it is just good.
It's not hard to take seriously.
It is.
God, basically, we're literally being as nice to him as possible,
I know.
just for the sake of it.
All right, and lastly, it's Muzan, which is just would you want to live in a world where vampires eat you sometimes? And it's like not fascism, but like I can't define a fascism, but it might be worse? Question mark.
Muzan just wants to be immortal.
I know, but like as a result of that, there's gonna be a bunch of demons running
Yeah.
around killing people and eating them and stuff.
Oh no, I think he also wants to like unleash an army of demons to conquer the world.
Oh, okay, worse than fascism then.
Yeah. Honestly, you could argue apocalypse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely an apocalypse because demons are not this. I'm one of my favorite Demon Slayer things stuff that I remember is the whole like Demon Slayer is way more grounded than other series. Is like one of Demon's buffs is that they don't blink,
Oh wow, that's cool.
making them slightly more effective in combat.
That's funny.
Which is really cool because you even see that with like the first time Tanjiro fights the water guy, he uses his flawed human vision to distract him with an axe, and the whole point is that'd be harder to do on the demon.
All right, so is there any revisions we need to make?
I think it's generally fine.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's generally fine.
Generally fine.
All
Oh
right, we
boy.
did the.
All
Oh,
right.
if there was like very obvious good ideas for this that we didn't think of, we're fucking sorry. We're dumb.
Oh yeah, no, we kind of just like started working on this list like today.
Yeah. So if there's like very obvious characters, it'd be super fun to talk about here that we just didn't. Oops.
Oopsie. Anyway, before I
Otherwise.
end, I'm gonna talk about Fire Emblem Three Houses for like 2 minutes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right, now, if we were to add Edelgard and Rhea to this list, I'm just saying, if Fodlan was a democracy, Edelgard has my vote, 100%. Unfortunately, it's not a democracy, so it's like I put like Edelgard in like I can cope, and then like Rhea in like I guess Rhea would go in fascism. Yeah, like she's nice, but like she, in some ways, but like yeah, it is that. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm just grabbing a screenshot. Don't worry, I'll be gone soon.
Okie doke. Are you just
Goodbye.
okay? Goodbye. Anyway, that's it. If Foden was a democracy, Edelgard would be arguably better than status quo, but it's not democracy, so she goes in not bad or I can cope. Probably. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.